And good morning and welcome to Touch Base today. My name is Ron Foster and I'm here to touch base with you with my buddy Chris. It's Friday. It's Focus Friday. Chris, how are you doing today, sir?
I'm good. I can't complain.
What are you up to on this wonderful Friday the 13th? Well, dun-dun.
Well, Fridays is typically, as they would say, chores. I try to do the laundry, even though I think we're pretty much finished with the laundry, but just like get some stuff done. And I'm actually going to take it a little bit easy this weekend. It's a date weekend. So I don't have to travel
Ooh,
for work.
a date weekend. I like
Yeah,
that.
yeah. We
I
still
will
date each
be,
other.
yeah, you have to keep, look, uh, what is it called? Marriage class. One of the main things they said, you have to have date. You gotta set date it weekly or whatever time you want to do it. But a weekly date is good for a marriage.
We do it all the time.
Yep,
So,
you gotta have a couple day. You gotta put it on the calendar like you do everything else.
yep.
It's so important. So anyway, but the weather is still beautiful here in New York.
Yeah, same here in Delaware.
It's getting a little it's a little warmer than I like. I mean, last week was nice and cool, but you know what? I take it. It's
It's been
still
like
not
the,
humid. It's 80 degrees
yeah,
today,
yeah.
going to
And
80, I should say.
when you get up in the morning, it's like 50, 60. I'm like, I can deal with this.
Yeah, 60 degrees here in New York. So it's like, okay, okay. So today I'm going to do some purging of my plants. But I do have a lot of editing to do from yesterday's event. And it was a great event. It was a bunch of, for those that don't know, Tavern Community had well, first of all, they met me through me being on live on Instagram, and I saw their Instagram account, and on a Focus Friday like we have here today, I gave them a shout out, like, "Hey, this is an interesting group of people," and and then they reached back out and said thank you. And next thing you know, build a relationship. And so I've been photographing for some of their events. And so that yesterday was one of those events, and it was a wonderful event. CEOs gathered together, having conversation about their company. I learned so much. Oh, I can't wait to dive into some of this stuff, but I gotta pass it by Gwendolyn. And they were talking about cookies and how cookies are being there'll be no more in
What do you
America
mean?
because the cookies, the regulations, like in Europe, they don't have cookies. You have to now you can't get data from third sources and second
Oh,
sources. You have to get
I'm thinking
all of your
something else.
data. Yeah. Not cookies that you eat. But
I spaced out.
but they you have to get all your data as a business owner firsthand, which brings us back to the old faithful email and the databases. Anyway, since Gwendolyn's in the back room, I'm sure she knows something about that. So let's bring her on. What's going on? But you know,
Oh my God, you pick a fine time to be like, let's make her live. I'm cracking up. I was like, it's not just cookies, because cookies can go to a number of places. You know what I'm saying?
but before Gwendolyn gets started, can we just say good morning to a bunch of folks? So Aya was in, she was the first person in the building. She was in early.
Hey.
And she gets the gold for today. Hello. And Chris was in second as a silver. Says good
I feel
morning.
like she gets second silver a lot.
Oh, between the two of them, these two are like neck and neck. And Aya says blessings to everyone on fabulous Friday the 13th. Today and every day is the day that the Lord has blessed and keeps blessing. That's right, because we don't have any fear when it comes to Friday the 13th. Okay, so here we go. Also, we have Rashawn is in the building. Rashawn, she says, good morning and happy Friday. Amparo is in the building as well. Grand Rising, Aya, and everyone. And who else is, let's see what else is going on. And then she says hello to us. You see that? Rashawn said hello to others before she said hello to us, Chris.
Good morning, Rashawn.
Adrian is in the building. What's going on, Adrian? NYC. So good to see you in the building. Who else is here? Hannah. Hannah is in the building, and I'm sure she's doing some gardening or something. Hannah's always busy in the morning. And hey, Daya. Daya is
Hey.
we miss our Daya. She's here. She says hi everyone. And her family had a loss, so keep her family in prayers.
No, sorry
Yeah.
for your loss.
So keep her in your prayers. And I see Girls Club is in the building. Good morning, everyone, she says. And who else is here? Who else is here? And Daisy is in the building. Hilarious. Cookies could have been interpreted totally different. She is right.
I
Is
wasn't
there
even going there
word
with
for
it. I was just
cookies?
hungry.
I didn't know there was other words for cookies or other meanings for
Yes.
cookies.
Come on, Ron.
Leave it to Gwendolyn.
Leave it to Gwendolyn to take us
I
to
like
the
how your
other
mind
meaning.
works.
Oh yeah, she's a quickie. Her mind is always like it's like the synapses fire.
Love it. Love it. Love it.
So anyway, so Gwendolyn, welcome. How are you doing, my dear?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm getting ready for the virtual birthday party. I have my
That's
confetti
right.
poppers. Oh my god, I'm so excited.
Could you tell people about your virtual birthday party?
Yeah, so I started last year. I always do if the good Lord allows, because every day is not guaranteed for us, and that does not escape me. Ron, I talk about death like every day because it is a part of life. Right? It's a part of
Yes.
life.
Yes.
So I believe in celebrating every day you get up. And so although my birthday is next week, I go live and do a quick virtual party, celebrating, doing a grateful, I guess I want to say like a grateful appreciation kind of
Mhm.
post, recognizing other people, sharing some stories, and there's always confetti. Man,
Mhm.
there's
Oh,
confetti. I keep confetti by the desk all the time. Like there's always one ready. It's a smaller one, but I got the big guns this year again. It's gonna be on. It's gonna be
So
on.
yeah, I mean, are you filming live or is this
Yeah,
gonna be a
yeah,
recording?
I'm live.
Oh,
Live today at
okay.
4:00 Central. I got my fringe here. I got my little fringe. So yeah.
oh,
Oh,
we
okay.
can
So
see that.
I will join you for your birthday party later.
I had
And
to set a reminder for this. I want to see the confetti.
oh yeah, but you know what's crazy about Gwendolyn is that then we get midway in the year and she happens to move furniture around and start cleaning up some other areas and she goes, doggone, there's some confetti still in this house.
Man, there's confetti on the ceiling still from last year. I haven't taken it down yet. It's not, I'm like, I could get a broom and get up there, but I'm like, it's
Oh,
gonna
you
have
got
to
a party
stay.
then.
Oh, she has her own party.
Yeah, my husband has banned confetti, and I was like, he's like, where are you going?
Oh,
So I'm going to Party City. For what? I said, well, I just need to get like a confetti popper. He said, Gwendolyn, we have talked about this. I understand, but I'm still doing it.
so wait, is it confined only to your office space
It's
now?
her office space.
Yeah, because we did it. I did it. I did it a couple of times, at least 3 times last year, and once was in the kitchen, and our granddaughter was like maybe 1.5, and so she was finding confetti in places that I was like, "Oh, there's confetti down there." So he was like, "No confetti any other place but your office at this point, because little ones."
I'm with
Like,
Mr.
fine.
Jack. I'll be like, this confetti has got to. I get freaked out. I mean, well, not so. I mean, well, I did. You know, when you got your Christmas tree, you bought your Christmas tree. You were so in love with your Christmas tree, the beautiful smells, and you decorate your Christmas tree during Christmas holidays. But doggone it, you're sweeping up needles for the whole year.
The whole year.
That's why I don't buy a real tree.
I would be sweeping up needles for days, for months.
But
It'd be the new Christmas, and it's still needles on the ground, on the floor somewhere.
I find the fake snow everywhere. I decorate the place with the
See,
fake
everybody
snow,
does
and it
see.
gets into everything.
Everything.
So we all have our crazy leftovers for the whole year, but whatever we do. So anyway, Gwendolyn, I'm sorry, Elise is in the back room. I'm bringing her forward. There she is.
Hey,
Whoa.
the usual
Hey,
suspects.
yo, hey, yo.
Good morning.
Good
Good
morning.
morning, Elise. How are you this morning on this Friday, as AS says, this fabulous Friday of the 13th?
Look, I'm doing fabulous this Friday.
Yeah, lipstick on and everything.
Yeah, I saw
Yeah, I
the
think I
lipstick.
just switch up a little bit.
I said,
Okay.
look at Elise with the lipstick on. I said, where's she going?
I came to see you all.
Just, you gotta show up, right? Just show up right.
Yeah, every now and then I figure, that's one of my husband's favorite things, put on a little lipstick.
Oh,
And people swear you have on makeup. It's like, oh, I love your makeup. I said, all I have is lipstick. That's all I'm scared.
A little pop of color.
Yeah, a little pop of color.
That's
That
all.
a world of good.
Elise says, I love the birthday plans for G. Gwendolyn celebrates herself. That's one thing I learned from Gwendolyn. Gwendolyn, she don't think of herself anything else but fabulous.
Damn right. I
Right.
mean, like,
If you're not going to do it, who else is?
There you go.
thank you, Chris. It's one of the messages for this afternoon that some of us are waiting for someone else to recognize us and
I don't
give
need
us the
nobody
chance.
else.
That someone is you.
Yeah.
That's
right.
who you're waiting on. You're waiting on loving yourself, recognizing yourself, bigging yourself up. I was on Dr. Tachi's show and somebody asked, like, what's my favorite photo and why? And I was like, oh, why they go there? I don't have a favorite photo of others. My favorite images, they're of me because I'm a good looking. I'm almost said something. It's of me.
Go ahead.
I almost said something wrong. Hold on. Thursday morning.
Kamala Harris slogan.
Yeah.
And then
That's what it sounded like.
Let me stop. But no, it's you. Recognize you, celebrate you, and then others will join in if they see the need. But you don't need to wait for someone's appreciation. That's you. So I'm gonna do it every day that the good Lord puts some air in my lungs. Are we partying?
There you
I hear
go.
you.
There you go. And Amparo says self-love is the best love.
Best one, baby.
And Dea says always love and celebrate yourself first.
Yep.
You have to. You have to.
I'm a person who loves flowers, so I buy flowers for myself.
There you go.
There you go.
That's how you do it.
I
I mean,
can get
that's how
back
I
into that.
celebrate. I do not wait for others. I mean, I'll invite you, but I ain't waiting for you. I'll say, hey guys, I'm going to be at such and such. I'm going to such and such. You show up. You don't. That's okay. I'm keeping it moving.
Take yourself
Been that
on
way
a
all
lunch
my
date.
life. My friends were like, "Oh, you still going? Oh yeah, hell yeah, I'm
Yeah.
going." I'll never forget. I was going on my Alaskan cruise. This is in 2015. I invited one of my friends. I said, "Hey, all you have to do is get your passport and come on aboard. I'm paying for it. You can hang out. I got a dual room. All you gotta do is get there."
Yeah. Well, you
Crickets.
already know I'll get on a plane.
Crickets. And I went by myself.
I may
and
not
had
ride a
great
boat,
time.
but I'm gonna do
You
everything.
don't gotta tell me twice. Just
Yep,
say the destination, like, all right, we're gonna make it happen.
We make it happen.
Yes.
And I was shocked. I was like, wait a minute. But he procrastinated. He couldn't get he just couldn't get his passport together. He was doing this, he was doing that. I said, you know what? I said, you just didn't want to go because if you wanted to go,
Yeah.
you would have made it happen. And so
Yes.
I'm glad you didn't
That's
go.
exactly what it was.
But you would have messed up my trip.
Listen,
It's-
2027 is when I have to renew my passport. I know the date when I have to renew it because I'm gonna do
Better
it
believe it.
6 months before.
I'll never
yes,
forget when
yeah.
I was going to Barbados to a wedding, my buddy's wedding. His wedding was the next day. And I get to the airport. I leave my job. I got my bags packed. I get to I pack up, and then early the next morning, I go to the first flight for JetBlue to Barbados. And I'm like using my passport to get in, and it's like C clerk, C clerk, C clerk, go to the desk. And I kept going, what's going on?
Oh no.
And then I got to the desk, and she said, sir, your passport has expired. And I said, no way, this is impossible. I have a wedding to go to tomorrow. Yeah. I said, what do I do? How do I do it? And she was so helpful. I'll never forget this woman. She called the passport place here in Manhattan, got all the information, let them know I was coming. And then I got on the train with my luggage, went to that place, got it done, and then had to rebook for the last flight out, and got to the airport, got it all done within, I guess it was 7:00 in the morning, and then I was at the airport for my 10:00 flight.
It cost your
Man,
arm and a leg though, didn't it?
Woo! It was so funny because I originally had the late flight, and then I had to go back to the late flight. So it wasn't that much because I guess they realized I had the same flight, and I just went back to this other flight.
I'm not talking about the flight, I'm talking about the passport.
Oh yeah, the passport.
Yeah. That's an expensive endeavor.
Expedition. The expedite fee is like I think it's $100.
Well, you
How
were
much?
blessed because some places it has to be 6 months.
Oh yeah, I was lucky.
Well,
Well, but
well-
that was years ago. That was like years ago. But
Yeah,
I
they-
remember because of that. That's why I don't forget my passport expirations now.
So, but
because of
hold
that
on, now they don't let you travel unless you have more than 3 months on your passport.
That's
Back
right.
in 2017, I was going to Dubai, and that year I was doing a lot of traveling, so I had to be careful of when I was going to renew my passport. So I had like three. I had just come back, I think, from like Iceland, and literally like in 2 weeks I was going to Dubai, and then I was going to Jamaica right after that. So I was like, all right, I have to wait until after I come back from Jamaica to renew my passport. I get to the airport in JFK to go to, this is a family trip going to Dubai. And I get there, everyone checks in first. I let everyone do their thing. I get to the counter. I have 3 months and 2 weeks left on my passport. All right. So I know I had time. I get to the agent, this woman, she just wanted to feel like she had power. She was like, well, I can't check you in because you have 3 months on your passport. I said, well, you're allowed to travel on your passport with 3 months. I had 3 months and 2 weeks. Plus, I have a return ticket, lady. I'm coming back into the country. She calls someone over and it's like, let him give it to him. Check him in. He has the amount of time. That wasn't enough for her. She had to call the front office. They said, what are you doing? He has more than 3 months on his passport, and he has a return ticket, and he has other travel actives. Why are you being like?
When you get a bad clerk? Oh,
Let me tell you something. I was irate with this woman because I know what I was doing, and she just wanted to feel as though she had power to say, "Oh no, you can't get on this flight." Like, no, my family's right there. I have the allotted time. You're going to put me on this plane, and she felt stupid afterwards.
Look, I tell everyone, you get your make sure your passport is in order. Mine doesn't expire to 28, and I have global entry, so I don't want to go through that hassle coming back in.
Global entry. I have the TSA. I go right in my TSA little checkpoint. Just go right in. I'm usually in by 15 minutes. I love it.
I should probably add that.
Yes.
I do have I just I renewed mine not too long ago, but I got the card and the passport book. So depending on where I'm going, I just take the card and leave the book at home.
Right.
I take my passport everywhere I go.
You don't just travel with the card. I actually know someone that they took their passport card and it was like, no, we need the passport.
You gotta take that passport.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
And can I give you some wisdom before you go there, Chris? I travel my passport everywhere I go. Meaning I go to when I travel to North Carolina, when I travel to anywhere. You know why? Because especially in today's world, you don't know what this country is going to look like, and you are far away, and you don't have your passport, and God forbid you need to flee this country for whatever reason, or something happens, and you have to go to Canada or Mexico or somewhere. You can't go unless you have your passport. So my passport is with me. I travel like a European. Europeans have their passports with them everywhere they go.
Right.
Yeah.
And
Well, that's a good idea. Plus, don't forget. This is a reminder. Everyone needs to have the real ID driver's license starting next March, I believe. Right. Luckily for me, I believe Delaware, when they issue new licenses, they automatically give it to you. Because when I switched over from New York to Delaware in 2022, I think it was, I was issued a real ID. So I had my real ID, and what identifies it has a star in the corner.
Yeah, I gotta get mine done.
And to fly starting next week, that's what's required. You can't use a regular driver's license. You have to use a real ID driver's license.
Right.
That's
DC
why.
started that too. And Chris,
Cool.
with that for my global entry, that was
Yes.
one of my excuses for a trip to New York. I went out to JFK because you can get it all done right there.
All
I went
done.
out there
Yeah.
to get mine done.
So important. And if you don't have the TSA check-in, you are missing out, because when you see all those people like snaking through, like hundreds of people, and you're like, I got mine, and you just go right through. There's maybe like 20 people, maybe 15 people, 10 people. You're done with 15 minutes. The longest I've ever had to wait was 15 minutes.
See, we
Well,
don't fly
even-
that often, but you
Oh,
know
I-
what? We're road trippers.
Yeah, you're a
We
roader.
like Mr. Jack is over the plane. He's
You're
over
a
it.
So
road
here's a good travel tip for all those travelers out there, and for people that want to travel and need to know how to travel. So I don't have TSA pre yet. I'm going to get it because of what I do for work. I travel a lot. But here's the thing, though: when I travel with the group, they typically always book us on the first flight out in the morning. Literally, either the first or second flight. So it's either
That's
like
the
a
way to
5 or
go.
6 o'clock flight.
Mhm.
When you fly that early, you typically have no lines.
Right.
The last trip when I was going to California coming back, like I said, I don't have pre. I literally went right through it. I walked in the building. I never checked a bag. I walked upstairs. I walked right through TSA. Don't take anything out. Just walk through the metal detector. And that was
best.
it. I was literally in the building and at the gate in less than 5 minutes.
Yeah, it's the best.
And that's
Yeah.
typical. And when I come back, it's the same thing. So, they always, make fun of me like, how do you have pre? We got through the exact same time.
If you have an early morning flight, yes.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, I believe in good travel. But again, if you're going to be away from home for more than a couple of days, take that passport with you.
That's a good idea, though.
Because
Good
you don't
idea.
know what could happen in a
Yeah,
week.
good idea.
You're
The
away from
apocalypse
home.
in the United States can happen.
In this day and age,
Yeah.
anything can happen.
And it's
Yeah.
called Trumpism.
Yeah, Trumpism is speaking of Trumpism. Did y'all hear that yesterday in Ohio they had several bomb scares
Yes.
Yeah.
because of Trump's
yes.
craziness?
Yep.
I
Oh,
mean,
he's added geese to the list now also.
oh yeah, it's no longer cats and dogs, but there's
It's
geese. At his rally yesterday in Arizona.
In Arizona, just still repeating it no matter what. And I guess that woman is still traveling with him.
Yeah,
Ugh.
so I didn't know about her until I think
Laura
you
Loomer.
mentioned it, and now it's been all over. Like they've been having heated debates on like MSNBC and CNN about this woman, like
What woman?
and
Did I
Republicans
miss
saying like,
something?
Her name is
Yeah,
Laura
and then-
Loomer.
Oh,
wait,
that
Margie-
woman.
Yes, I
Marjorie
heard it.
Taylor, when Marjorie Taylor Greene comes out and condemns you and rebukes you on TV on the steps of the Capitol, there's a problem.
That's
There's
right,
a
Margie's
honey.
just jealous. Margie's just jealous. That's
Margie
all.
wanted
That
that
too.
position. She
That
wanted that
too.
spot. This
Margie's like, "Where's my
31-year-old got her.
Margie's just jealous, but
Margie
yeah,
was too
she's
old.
crazy. That woman is crazy. She's the one
Yeah.
with the gun lapel. She's the one that had the family picture with everybody having a AK on the Christmas card. She's crazy. She's whacked.
And she was the one that told him to go on stage and talk about the cats and the dogs.
Right.
Yes.
Ugh.
And so she posted on her social media, if anyone, she wants anybody to beat Marjorie Taylor Greene. Doesn't matter if they Democrats or not, just DM her because she has all the information on her.
Get
I
real.
thought
People
it's
are
amazing.
awful.
They fighting each other. Lindsey Graham, she
They're
called him out,
infighting.
told him to come out of the closet.
But that's what
Destroy
happens.
them from within.
But that's what happens when you are losing.
Yeah,
You ever see in sports, even in sports, basketball team, football team, mainly baseball. It usually happens more in baseball. When the team is winning, everyone's happy. The team that's losing, they're fighting, they're arguing, they're upset with the coach, they're bickering,
They're
People-
physical in the dugout.
they get physical in the dugout. People get crazy when they're losing.
And his wife is not traveling with him, so she's the one that's on the plane with him. She's flying around the
Tell
country
me
with him
something.
right now.
Maybe
me what
he's
does that
the
mean?
next wifey. Maybe she's the next wifey.
She
Maybe
was at
She's
the
been around
9/11
she's
event,
been
even though
around
she
for a
said it was a
while.
hoax.
Yeah.
Oh, she's a
Everything was a
replacement.
hoax to her.
Yeah,
She's
She's put
crazy.
out a lot of disgusting
That's-
things
so
when
that's what I
Kamala was
understand.
first on there.
She's a 9/11 denier, but yet still she went with him to 9/11 at ground zero. Like
Right.
that doesn't make you don't believe in him. So why are you there?
Well, she just wanted to be next to him. That's all.
That's her position, like
Mhm,
right now. I'm sure she was in Arizona telling the
She was in
girls where
Arizona.
to be.
Yeah, she's been by his side.
She's flying on the plane.
Yeah. Ooh, Lord have mercy.
His own daughter's not there either. So.
No one's there. None. Even the boys. Let's say the boys. His sons are not there because they act like boys. So you have to act, But they are not there either. So he's on a lonely trail. And then you have. Can someone please tell me why Bush is not out there? Bush and Condoleezza. Why aren't they saying what's wrong with them?
Well, people are pissed off with them because they should be the ones coming out and speaking up about this whole Trump thing because they know that what he's doing is wrong.
But if someone like Condoleezza, I never understood her anyway. But her whole thing is you're sitting up there in your ivory tower at Stanford, being in this think tank, doing nothing, and you talk about your friends and the bombing that took place at the church years ago, and you knew those people, but you're okay with all of this evil. You're just sitting there. She hears it. I'm sure people have called her. People have talked to her. George Bush is, down there painting pictures and still trying to get over what he has to get over. It's like painting pictures of people and giving them pictures. But it's that part. It's like they're cowards. They're cowards. Not that they can't be hurt by anyone. They can't be hurt by anyone. You're a coward, and that's what George Bush is at this point in time. He's a coward.
Yeah, I don't see how you could be again. They was laughing this morning on Morning Joe. They said when Darth Vader, Dick Cheney, because Dick Cheney was the Darth Vader. No one liked Dick Cheney. I mean, he was so. They consider him like the evil behind, Bush.
Sith Lord. That's what they said that he looked like.
Sith Lord. Yeah, he did.
They were like, he is like the evil empire. But look, when you got the Cheneys, who are, who are Republican royalty, if there's such a thing, they come out and support Kamala. You would think and none of the Bushes.
I was getting ready to say none of the Bushes have come out.
None of the Bushes. And I'm shocked because Trump ridiculed and belittled Jed like he was like a child. And I don't understand these people. He insults their wives, he insults them, he insults their relatives, and then they still love him.
It's not even that they love him.
The power.
It's all about the power. So also, what's else is in the news? I hope everyone came with their homework. Today, we have a lot to talk about when it comes to election. The election is voting season is starting. I should say starting. Voting is, well, before we go there, did y'all see what happened in North Carolina with JFK and the ballots?
No, what did they do?
No.
Oh, y'all have not heard about this one?
No.
Oh, here we go. Let me bring it to your
Come on,
attention.
Ron, with the breaking news.
Here we go. Well, it says Robert F. Kennedy Jr. has sabotaged early voting in a critical swing state, which is North Carolina. And what they did was his name was on the ballot.
Right.
So his name could have remained on the ballot. Even though he withdrew from the election, he's not a candidate any longer. However, he went to the Supreme Court of North Carolina to have his name removed, and they granted it 4-3. So that means now it stalls the North Carolina election.
They have to go reprint everything.
They got to reprint everything. And they said it's going to cause a delay for people overseas, like the military. The military people that live in North Carolina are may not get their ballots, I should say their voting ballots, in time. And he not only did it there, but he did it in every battleground state.
Mm.
He did what he did. He wanted to
To
take them
delay.
off in the red states.
Yes, it's the battlegrounds.
Yeah.
The battleground states.
Those red states.
Because it wasn't all the red states; it was just the battleground states.
Mm.
So trying to stall the election, and that people will not get their ballots. These people are,
The devil is busy.
and again,
Always.
this is proof that people that don't believe voting is important. If your vote wasn't important, they wouldn't be working overtime to stop it. So
Yep.
that's what's going on in North Carolina.
And also says, look at your Supreme in these states. Most of these states, you vote for those state Supreme Court justices. Look at who you're voting for,
That's right.
because you can vote them out too. They don't have state Supreme Courts that normally elected, and they do not have lifetime appointments. You can vote
Get
them
rid
out.
of them. Get rid of them. I say go down the ballot. Everything that is blue, vote for it. Everything that is red, just ignore it. Don't vote for anything red. And again, like I said, I'm going to remind people, some of the advertisements in some of these states, some of the Republicans are not sharing that they're Republicans. They're trying to hide their Republican title in their commercials as they're running them. So
Devil's busy.
they're busy. So anyone got anything to share about how do we talk? We're going to talk about elections here. Oh, first of all, can we just say traveling safety to our wonderful Omar. He has left New York.
Wow.
Wow.
Safe
Or he's
travels,
he's in the airport waiting to leave New York. I think his flight is probably now. But yes, he was a great guest this week. And it was good to have my brother around the house. And so he's on his way back to Texas, back to where those wonderful Texans live.
What you trying to say? I mean, if you want to say something, you can say something.
Face to my face.
Sound like fighting words.
That's right.
Hey, man.
The Texans. I told him, I said, I'm coming to Texas. As soon as he settles in, I'm going to Texas. I got many reasons to be in Texas. I have a lot of friends that live in Texas, believe it or not. A whole lot. That's why I can josh around with Texans, because I have a lot of friends in Texas.
Well,
I
so
tell all
damn
my
big.
Texas people, come visit me. I'm not coming.
If I told my friends in Texas, I will only visit Texas in the winter. It's too hot. It's too hot in the summer
it's
to
hot
visit
in
Texas. Okay, what else? So, guys, you guys in the community, what do y'all do? What do you guys got planned for this weekend before we go into some election websites that you guys can focus on this Focus Friday? What are you guys doing? Hey, Brian is in the building. Mr. B. Young is in the building.
Oh, he's home.
So good to see him. Are you home, Mr. B?
Yeah, he's
Yes.
home.
Yeah.
Awesome. He says, how Dick Cheney shot his friend in the face, and the friend apologized. Yes, I remember that.
God bless.
But
Yes, Mimi. She said, I swear it is. I used to live in Austin. I love Austin. Has anyone been to Austin, Texas?
It's all right.
Wait, me. It's just it is. If you love food, if you love people gatherings, if you love all these different restaurants and tours and all that stuff for food and all the other stuff, if you're a foodie, Austin is the place.
If you're a foodie, you're in Houston. Hello.
No,
Like,
I've heard,
I'm
yeah,
sorry.
Houston has good food. But wait, isn't the birthplace of Twitter, where Twitter was launched, was in Austin at one of those conferences? Like they always meet up in Austin for those tech summit stuff. I think Twitter was born there.
I did not know that.
It was showed off and unveiled there.
Yeah, my daughter lives there now.
Warmer.
Yeah.
I was like,
have you been there yet?
I have to.
You have to go visit Austin. I loved it. And then check out the bats. They didn't cooperate when I was there last time, but
Okay, if we can, really quick, just to keep it serious. Okay, Austin is nice, but it's also it's small. Now, if you're coming from a big city, Austin's going to feel very small to you, and you're gonna be like, "This is it," which is why I get a "this is it," because okay, I'm gonna need something more than just this,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
in that whole hill country, there are tons of wineries, bed and
Yes.
breakfasts, so you can travel,
Yes.
get a little barbecue here and there. But if you're talking about a one-stop shop and eating, then that is going to be Houston. I mean, there are 2 other towns, or I should say other smaller cities inside of Houston. So we're
Okay.
not gonna play like we ain't got stuff going on down there. Like we're not doing
Yeah.
that.
Oh,
we ain't gonna do that.
Put it down. It's South by Southwest. That's held in Austin, I
Yes,
believe.
that is held in
Correct?
Austin.
Yes.
Yes,
So
it
that's
is.
where South by Southwest. Yes, that's what.
And
What it
I
was.
last
have
year
not-
they had Afrotech in Austin last year as well, which I do
Really?
believe
Okay.
Afrotech will be in Houston this year. So yeah, I mean it has its things. It's very liberal and stuff of that nature. But you know, in terms of doing stuff beyond,
Yeah, I mean, and I think that's why I also liked Austin, is because we went to this amazing ranch out just outside of Austin, and then you had you had the winery area.
Mhm,
So you had
right.
all these branches outside of Austin, but it is the blue dot in the sea of red, politically.
there is
I went down there. I
Your-
went once.
yeah,
I went
your
once.
metropolitan cities in Texas are heavily Democratic.
Yes, the
They are.
cities.
They are very heavy. So
I
once you get out into the sticks, and yes, they are sticks. It's red. It's
Yeah,
It's red.
I went to Austin
Elise was
once
saying
for an
something.
IB conference. I went
Oh,
for an
okay.
IB conference, and they
Gotcha.
mentioned, "Oh, we're going to go to the Bat Bridge." I said, "Look, I spent my childhood running from bats in Alabama. I'm not going to go see a bat of them."
The Bat Bridge was awesome, though. I mean,
rats with wings.
I spent my time running from
wings.
bats as a child. No,
Thousands of bats come from under the bridge. It's crazy.
that's one of those
Crazy.
people who live in places
I'll
where
pass.
bats don't come out at night, flying
Okay.
around looking for
The
things.
bats
I'll
come out
pass.
at night.
I had a bat fly into my place once. Didn't realize he was there, and then came out in the living room and like, what is this thing? Like, yeah, you don't pay rent. You got to go.
Oh my goodness. So anyway, so I Googled it, and like anyone else could. Let me see if what happened to my screen? There you go. There we go. So first thing up, we all know about USA Gov. Let me put this up on the screen. So if you want to be able to share this information with your friends and your family, since we are Fridays is our Focus Friday, usually we do Instagram accounts and YouTube channels that bless, encourage, and inspire. But because we're going into the elections, we are in the election season. I thought as these Fridays get closer to our election day, that we kind of like we give more information along the way, so that people will be able to arm themselves with websites that they can have conversations with their friends, or also to just get your voting on and get early voting done. This is one that I think Elise always shares with us, and this one is USA.gov. Such a lots of information. So if you need information on voting on election day, who can and cannot vote, do you have to vote for party you are registered with, find out when to vote, absentee voting and voting by mail, early in-person voting, all of that's here and more. You can go through all of this information and just kind of like school yourself on it, especially if you are going to be interacting with people and telling people and sharing with people the need for them to vote. I don't think we can tell people to vote, like force them to vote. But what we can do is let them know why they should be voting and why this vote is so important. One of my friends was like, "I'm not voting," and so I had to turn the table around and say, "Well, can you vote for me? Can you vote for us? Can you vote for other people? I mean, you may not be voting for you. Let's say you don't care about the vote, but could you vote for us? Because we Black folks." And I went there. We Black folks. He's not Black, and I said, "We Black folks. We got some challenges ahead if Trump gets back into office." And I said, "We have children. We have family. we have people we need to protect. Can you
Mhm.
vote for us? And then it was like, oh,
That was smart. That was smart.
never
I
thought
like
about
that
it that
answer.
way.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
say, if you can't vote for you, vote for me. If you love me
Mm.
as
Yes.
your friend, vote for me.
Yeah.
Or
And
like vote for your nieces, vote for your nephews, vote for
yes,
their
Yes.
friends. Like, because honestly, not that it's important to vote because we're affected, but it's really about the younger generation and all the policies that they'll inherit.
yes.
So I have to give you all an update on the relatives in Texas. So my
Yes.
sister-in-law spoke with her granddaughters and the other people on the former daughter-in-law and all of them. She spoke with them. They're registered to vote in Texas.
Mm-hmm.
Then she spoke to him, but I told my husband, make sure that she calls them and he calls her back and let them know they have to print that out in Texas and sign it and send it. They can't just submit it online. So I told them just make sure that they understand that she shares that with them. But she talked to them, and his sister's 81. So she talked to them and got them to, say they're gonna register to vote and vote.
Wow.
Good.
Because all you can do, like again, you can't force people and you can't beat them over the head and say, why are you not voting? Don't you know how important that? Don't you know people die for it? I mean, some people you can have that conversation with, but a lot of people, something happened along the way that they feel dissatisfied with the process. And they feel like they feel like, well, I voted last time and nothing's happening, but they don't understand the full picture of what voting is, and that the president can't do anything without a Congress to do it. And I mean the full Congress, the Senate and the House of Representatives. If he doesn't or she doesn't have both with their presidency, they
Right.
can get nothing done.
Yes. Did you,
So
thinking of the House, thinking of Congress, did you all see the video with Angela Rye and Jill Stein?
no.
She
No.
asked Jill Stein, how many members are in the House of Representatives total with the Democrats and everybody all together? Jill Stein said, like 600.
What?
She said, the House of Representatives, Angela Rye told her there's 435. She said, and of those 435, how many of them are Green Party? She said, none. Her point was to say, what are you going to get passed if you have no one supporting what you represent in the House of Representatives? And Jill Stein, of course, got defensive and started talking about that's the white, what did she say? The white supremacy thing, that she started connecting her with it. Angela Rye said, what you're not going to do is connect me with that. And
Far from that.
Dealing with the DNC platform. She said, this has nothing to do with the DNC platform. And so she said, so how do you, and she asked her several questions. She talked about how many times she's run for different things. And so she said, so what strategy are you going to use? Because you've never been successful at getting elected. What strategy do you have that will help you? So, and then I didn't like how some of the other people who were in that environment, I think it was a Breakfast Club with Angela Rye, tried to kind of push back on her, but she was asking her valid questions.
Mm-hmm.
Here you have a woman who is running for the presidency, who has no clue of how many members are in the House of Representatives.
That's the sign.
That's a big sign that something's
That's a big
wrong.
sign that shows you're not paying attention. And people need to, and I think when we say Congress, what people need to understand that Congress consists of two things: the House of Representatives and the Senate. Most people don't understand that. They don't understand you have the House of Representatives and you have the Senate. House of Representatives, which is 435 people, are reelected every 2 years.
And the Senate has 100.
Has 100 people. And they're coming for election every 6 years, which is the reason why you have 34 of them. You have possibly 34 because J.D. Vance is a senator. So you have 33 officially out there, and they're up for re-election. 9 of those Republicans who are up for re-election voted against women's contraception. And one of them is Ted Cruz from Texas.
This is what happens when you don't teach social studies in schools and you're banning books.
And she's too old. I'm not even gonna give her that excuse.
Yeah, because she should know that.
She should know
I
that.
know, but I'm just saying, like, if she doesn't even know, how can you expect
Right.
these younger people to know it?
Absolutely. And that's why I made a point of saying what Congress is, because people always say Congress and people have an idea that they think it's just this one entity when it's not. It's two pieces. It's the Senate, which is 100 representatives, and then there's the House of Representatives, which is 435. And people need to know that those two things come together, and that's what we call Congress.
Yes.
And the president has to have a Congress that works in his favor, which means the House of Representatives and the Senate that works in their favor, so that you won't be disgruntled. Most people are disgruntled because they feel like some of the things that politicians may have said, whether it's state or local, didn't get something done. Well, they can't get things done if the people who are supposed to be their support and supposed to help along the way, because they're at the executive level, if they don't have that support of those people to get that legislation passed, they can't get those things done. That's that voting rights legislation for that stuff. All those things that happen that especially Black people say they want to have done. Those things cannot get done if we don't show up and vote for the people. We can't not vote and complain, or we can't waste a vote on third party and complain that something didn't get done and be frustrated if we didn't do our part.
Same thing with West. I don't understand why West is in this thing. What's the purpose? What's the point?
Has he said anything recently?
Well, most people don't even know he's running. But I mean, the thing is, why are you putting your name on the ballot? Why are you wasting that space?
Yeah.
Because you being on the ballot, if it's, let's say 100 people voted for him, 100 out of the country, and it comes down to those 100 votes, it's like you are wasting our time.
Right.
You are wasting our time. You're wasting space on the ballot. You're wasting. I can never get it. With Stein, like, she messed up the election before. Besides Hillary making her own mistakes, but she took away votes last time.
So with Hillary Clinton, one of the things in defense of what happened with Hillary Clinton, that last 2 weeks when James Comey came back out with those emails, that's what happened to Hillary. It wasn't so much of what Hillary did, it was what was being done and people not really listening to her on what she tried to say. But now I told my husband, I was laughing about that the other day. I said, Hillary's out there holding those grandbabies laughing.
She's having a good time.
She said, I told him.
And she has a new book coming out.
She predicted everything to a T.
She did. She told you.
She was
and people are walking up to her and apologizing. I thought you had in the bag, so that's why I didn't vote. And that's the danger of not voting.
Right.
Just because Kamala is, has this upswell of support, that means absolutely nothing if you do not vote for her.
Exactly.
Yeah, absolutely. And it means nothing to register to vote. The 300,000 people plus people that registered to vote after Taylor Swift the other day.
It's now up to 400.
Now that you register, we're going to need you to vote and vote blue. Period.
That's right. Yeah. Vote.
Can I throw in a thought in there real quick?
Yeah.
Because I'm listening to when you were saying how your friend didn't want to vote, and we keep asking ourselves, how did we get here? And I think there's a number of ways that we got here, but I just remember, because of the proximity to not having, my parents were extremely active in everything civic in our neighborhood, getting lights, like street lights, getting speed bumps, getting new sidewalks. They were active in their community. And we had people that were also fairly active, like the Nation of Islam in Houston it was and still has a presence there, right? Mm-hmm. And so we would see the people doing their thing. Like, we were never part of it, but they were very active in the community. And I remember how, like, just the name Louis Farrakhan was one of those, oh, don't say his name, he's coming for the man. And and something happened. So we went away from, and I keep saying it, we got comfortable. Yes. We went away from fighting for what we rightfully deserved. We just let things go to the wayside. We decide to be like the Joneses, I guess now the Kardashians. And people forget that in order to have anything, like you have to work for this. It doesn't work by itself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The people who were always working have slowly died off or have retired. And I haven't seen, I mean, we're seeing it now because of this current election climate, but we just sort of lost, in air quotes, our leaders. And we replace them with celebrities who come out and tell you there's no need to vote. I don't know why you guys are voting. It doesn't, it's like where did that mindset come from? But you got yours, you got your millions, your house and everything else. And this other person's like, well, this person did not to vote, so I guess I shouldn't. It's like, I don't, it's a culmination of foolishness. But people need to recognize if you want something done, you got to do it yourself, because it's like, yes, you have the president, you got Congress, but then the civilians have to do their part.
Yeah.
Otherwise, none of this works without us, and we
That's right.
lost
Yep.
that.
It's we the people engaged in democracy. It's not we the people sitting on the sidelines picking your nose and saying, oh, someone else can do it. You got to be engaged. It's like you think about in New York City, we have Bloomberg built upon years of Bette Midler and all these people that were creating what's called streets gardens. And you would go and these, like all these little dividers and means, mediums in the streets were just concrete. And she and a bunch of other folks, they were like, wait a minute, we can change these into little islands of plants and beauty. And so all over New York City, over 25, 30 years, Bette Midler and all the other people, and she became the face of it, but I'm sure there was the ground roots people were there. And we now have greenery everywhere in the city because it just kept growing and growing over the years. Now you go to some of the main roads, like Park Avenue was one of the first ones of its kind. When you go to Park Avenue, you have the trees and the grass, and the ivy, but now we have that all over the city, moving and more of it, and that it comes along. But that didn't happen because a government person said, hey, let's make this happen. That was people in the community raising their voices and saying, we don't want these sore patches in our neighborhood. We want greenery. We want trees. We want oxygen. Right. And they fought for that. So I'm just saying, if you want something, you got to fight for it. And I think about the same thing with the gardens up in Fifth Avenue. There's in Harlem. There was this one woman. She fought. There was a lot that was not producing anything, and she fought for that lot so that they could have a community garden. And the kids go there. They've been going there for decades to go there and learn how to farm and how to cultivate food in their neighborhood. So, but again, that was one woman making a difference. And now it's so every voice counts. And,
I think,
go ahead.
The one thing I think, there are a couple of things I think happened with, like, quote unquote leadership, right? A part of it was the fear, like, because of what was happening to leaders at the time. Became a leader. Even when you look at what's happening now, the women in Texas, those Hispanic women, Latino women in Texas, who are leaders in their community, are being harassed by Texas officials coming into their houses in the early morning hours, 80 plus years old, searching for things, confiscating your computers, doing all of these things because you're being active and trying to get your people out there to vote. And the harassment they're experiencing. And that's on purpose. It's to put that fear in people, to make you afraid to go out and advocate for certain things, especially when it comes to the world of politics. That's one of the reasons that you have had less people. And because I had this conversation with a young man who was a first generation. His parents moved to America, so he was first generation born in America. And he was having this conversation about Black Americans. I said, we have this history, that we have a lived history of our leaders being murdered.
Yes.
As young as 21 years old, because they were galvanizing people together. And I said, so that's why you may not have people overtly doing as much as you think they have.
Mhm.
And on the other side of that is complacency,
Yes.
where there are people who I have arrived at a certain level, understanding that the general public, the everyday general public, you're not there. You're not.
Mhm.
You don't have $100 million, so that you have somebody like these celebrities, not throwing out those names, but you have somebody like an Ice Cube. You have that money. You live in a $7 million house. You don't want to have your taxes. You don't want to pay those taxes. But then you do have other celebrities that say, hey, we should be taxed fairly. But they're trying to protect their wealth. They don't care anything about you. They're telling you not to do something, not because they care about us and our society. They care about their bottom line, which is their money. So that's what that's about. And I see people talk about that. Oh, I care about my wallet. It's not just about your wallet. You have to understand
about community.
if you are part of the general public,
Mhm.
your wallet will be impacted by tariffs, by so many other things, that your health care, because that still is at risk if things don't come out right in November.
That's
So
right.
you have to understand that your future, your child's future, everyone's future is at that point. And if you're a white citizen in America, you can identify as white in America. Of course, you can say, oh, I'm not going to vote. And you're going to be fine, because guess what? They can't look at you and identify who you are. They won't look at you and consequence you for who you are. They're going to look at us and consequence us for who we are. As long as you keep your mouth closed, you're going to be fine. Bush going to be fine because Bush is Bush. But we're not going to all be fine. That's the bottom line.
Yeah. Here's also something, another website for you guys. If you are into the interactive of what's going on politically, let me just get this here. This is an interactive. This is on 270 towin.com, and it just gives you all the political stuff that's going on, and you can look at how the red states are doing, how the swing states are doing, what's happening week by week, the percentages and all that good stuff. So check, if you're a geek like myself, this is another website for you to look at. I also have another one for you guys for this Focus Friday, and I know they CNN, they have their stuff, but let me give you where was the other one? Was it Open Secret? Sorry, my bad. Let me just get that. Whoa. Oh, here it is. Vote for 1-1. And because there are still places around the country that are still looking for poll workers. If you're interested in being a poll worker, especially a sane poll worker, we know that Trump is trying, the Republican Party and a lot of these places are trying to get their people into these positions to cause a little havoc. But if you are interested in becoming a poll worker today, you can go into this site. It's called vote411.org, 2024 Presidential Vote Guide. And but you can also become a poll worker, because there is in certain states, in certain communities, there's a lack in numbers of poll workers, because some people have been scared off by the Giuliani situation with back in with those that were going after the poll workers, and so they need new workers. Some people have been scared off. So if you find the strength and the power to do this, here's the website. Go in, look at it, see how you can help. I know I look at some of my neighbors are poll workers. I love them for it. I go into the poll and say, hey, they're like, yeah, we do this every year. It's a whole big party. So it's like, it's about 15 of them in my building. They're right at the poll. They're having food. They're having a party, and they're helping with the, people filling out the poll, filling out the voting slips and making sure everything's right, and looking up people so they can go into the booth and get their paperwork. And they wear it as a badge of honor that they are giving back to the community and helping people. So there is a need for poll workers, and so if you are available to do so, and they also they do in New York City. I know New York State, they do get paid some
Stipend.
little allowance.
Mhm.
So do it if you have the time. Early voting begins in a lot of places starting next week. And so get out there and share. Anyone else have anything they want to share before
So,
we
you
close
know,
out?
one of my favorite places on Instagram is always When We All Vote, because that's the one that keeps you updated on like the last day to register in the place. They do a lot of things. They also have a website as well.
It's called When We All Vote.
When We All Vote.
Okay, let me put that in for Instagram. When We All Vote.
They post a lot of information on registration early when early voting starts. They'll be the ones that put that information out as well.
Oh, this is good. I haven't signed up for this one. Okay, I gotta get that.
Y'all
Well, now I am. Here we go. I'm gonna share this with you guys so you'll have it. And this is a good way to share it, celebrate our Focus Fridays. Here you go. So here it is. When We All Vote, and then they have the Linktree link there that links you to all the other areas. But all the information is here. I can't wait to go through it. I didn't know this. Did I know about
That's a
this
good
one?
Yeah.
Okay, that's how.
Yeah,
Again,
the
that's
link-
the beauty of community. We educate
Yeah.
each other.
The link will take you to their website, which is about voter registration and whether or not you want to help with voter registration. The link will take you to their website.
Here we go, and this is their Linktree with everything there.
Yes.
So you got to register to vote, check your registration, host a voters registration drive, and it goes on sweepstakes and all that stuff. Find your poll place and voting resources. Take action. Get to know When We All Vote. So everything's right here.
Right.
Shoot, I can use this as the resource.
And we know
This is-
finding your polling place is going to be very important for people, depending on where you live. My polling place hasn't changed for 30 plus years, but I'm in a place where it's not going to change like that.
Yeah.
But other people have changed, so that finding your polling place is going to be important.
Okay. I see here, Agree Jazzy says, we need more people to represent us at the polls. Yep, that's great. True. We need more people. The work is rewarding. Jazzy says the work is rewarding in the end, but it takes a lot to get there. And I just wish people would understand the power that we all have.
Yes.
She also says, I've seen the complacency in regular run-of-the-mill neighborhoods. I think a lot of times people like to complain because it's the easy thing to do. It is hard to work for what you want. So important. And we got to be in it to win it. Yes, I mean, we say that about lottery. I used to always say, I gotta win lottery, and my friends would say, Ron, do you play lottery? And I go, well, exactly. But I did play this weekend. I got a ticket waiting to go this week. You got to be in it to win it, and that's in everything. Think about that. You got to be in it to win it in everything we do in life. So you want an awesome family. You got to be in it to win it. You want a neighborhood. You got to be in it to win it. And if you want a great country, you got to be in it to win it. And on that note, I think that's a good way to end. But anyone, yeah, do you think that's a good one? Are we ready to end, y'all? Anyway, so Elise, where can people find you, my dear?
At SALIEZE _ on Instagram.
Gwendolyn, where can people find you? Especially we want to join you in your party tonight.
Oh, well, we're Black Power Bunny on Instagram and GR Houston Jack on YouTube.
Black Power Bunny. I love that name. And Chris, where can we find you? There it is, right?
Constantly changing for me, right there. On all my socials.
Awesome. And you know where to find me, right here. You know, I had the wrong title up all day. I have it On the Move.
Oh, I did say On the Move.
I mean, you are on the move.
You're like On the Move. I mean, what happened to me? This is my Touch Base Daily. Oh, that's the wrong one. There we go. How is that possible? When you're on live, anything could happen.
Yes,
anything could happen.
It's real life.
Yeah, that's right. Thank God for grace with this wonderful community. None of y'all were like, Ron, you're on the move right now.
We were
Oh,
focused.
speaking on the move, last night, I if you want to go to the YouTube channel real quick, I was at the gallery, met Madhavan, who has spoken and shared here on our platform. His solo exhibition. Let me just send this right here, and let me show you that. So I'm gonna take off the sound though. Oops. But this is, I mean, we were together. His work is on the wall. So proud of him. And you can check this out on my YouTube channel. It's under KP Madhavan Solitude at the Soho Photo Gallery. If you want to see his work and the information there. But he did such a great job. And then he took us through the photos and how they were done and how they were created. The theory of how he arranged them on the wall. It was beautiful, and so many people fell in love with his work. And this is one of my favorites right here. And you can just check it out. Look at it. There's a little bit of glare on some of these, but you get it. So yeah, I was having a ball. And so check it out. It was a great interview. And there you have it. So check that out when you get some time this weekend. I hope you guys have a wonderful and safe weekend. Do something fun. Do something that makes you happy and makes you smile. And do something that makes you fall in love with yourself. Give yourself permission to love you. And I will see you tomorrow. I'll see you tomorrow. I'm rolling around the city, so I'll be on the move tomorrow somewhere. I'm going to share with you guys somewhere in New York City. Okay, guys, thank you so much for joining us, all the folks that are out there. And if you are in the Instagram community, make sure you join us on our YouTube channel. It is such a much more better experience. And then make sure everybody that you like, subscribe, and share. Please do this like and this subscribe. Okay, guys, we're out of here. Thank you for joining. It was real. It is real. Real. Bye.
Bye-bye.